Which hero do you think you want to be today?
The higher the pressure, the more dazzling the diamond.
Now, who am I gonna banish from this match? Pick your hero. Or villain, I'm not judging.
I'm as flawless as they come, darling. More thick-skinned than
That's all it takes. So this is really, this mistake actually goes so far if you correct it. If you learn to start standing by cover in a proper position where you can see your team still, that just helps so much. Like, you're going to take less damage, you're going to be way more effective with healing. This goes for tanks, for DPS, and for supports. It also changes on the map and your team comp and things like that. So let's take a quick example. If we back up to here, and we look, right, so this is good positioning, right, they're decently, this is a little bad, I would prefer here, so you can get to cover quickly. But let's just say White Fox is standing over here. Say, hey, this is good, right? I'm undercover, right? They can't show. Well, yes, that's true. They can't react. Being able to see everything in your field of view that includes your team and the enemy, that's a good position where you also have cover and you can retreat. The other bad part about right here is not only can I not see my Strange, and if anybody pushes up and let's say it's hooked by a Bucky or grabbed by Emma, in order to heal them, I have to walk forward and turn the corner or use an ability, which is not what you want. And the last thing is, if I'm standing here, there's a flank route, right? The enemy team can literally just walk through this way and attack my backside for free. Whereas over here, if they walk that way, I still have cover. Walk this way. Walk this way. I can move around, right? If I'm over here and they walk that way, I'll throw this way, and then I still have access to my team. So take all these things into consideration. Watch where you're positioning yourself. Use cover really well, and that's going to help you get out of this. So next for gold, I actually have a black game that illustrates this point really well. But we're going to look at why staggers happen and how to prevent them. This happens throughout almost all the ranks, but it really starts holding people back. So here, we're going to watch as red team actually makes a positioning error to start with. So our raccoon is off to the side, right? So if where he's looking, he doesn't have cover, he can be attacked from the flank. And if his team gets pushed back this way, he can't heal them. Or if they get pushed forward, he can't heal them. So over here, we're already starting with bad position with gold mistake. And then later, you're going to see they get a pick. Green team is going to get a pick. And what's going to happen is this is just going to spiral out of control because of why staggers happen. Right? So now Magneto's dead. And a lot of people think that staggers happen because somebody's not really paying attention and they just like walk in, right? They walk in 1v6, which is true, that can cause staggers. But that's not normally what happens. Normally what happens is one team will have a disadvantage. They'll be down one person, they'll be down two people, or the enemy team will have like a supportal or something, and they will try to win the fight anyway, even though this fight is like completely lost. So right here, Magneto's dead. I think he's probably going to get res. By the time he gets res, now we're down to support. And for the rest of the entire defense, the whole round, red team is going to continue to try to fight a lost fight instead of getting out and cutting their losses, right? So we hold on, we're still healing, we're still holding on, we're using as many abilities as possible. So what did this do? Not only did everybody die anyway, and we lost the point, but instead of either, usually the call that people call it on comms is die or get out, right? So if you die immediately, then you respawn with your team, or if you get out, Scarlet Witch tried to stay alive, and now her team is starting to respawn, right? The people who died first are respawn. Rocket can get out. These people are close, but now she's 10 seconds behind everybody else, right? And so that is going to bleed into the next fight, where we're going to watch as they start another fight down one.
Here they are.
And it just keeps happening. So here, Black Cat already goes in, waits a bubble. Black Cat's going to make a mistake. They're going to get picked early. Let's jump ahead to that. The same thing is going to happen, right? Black Cat makes a mistake. Dies. Now we're going to fight 5v6. We have bad positioning. We're trying to fight right outside of the spawn, and it's just going to happen again, right? Now we should cut our losses here. If you're red team, you use your abilities to either die or get out, right? I'm going to get out, I'm going to pull back all the way over to here. By the time I get back to here, Black Cat should be back, and we can fight again. But instead, we're going to stay out in the open. We're going to try to fight the fight that's lost. 5v6. We're eventually going to slow down. Now Magneto's dead. Black Cat just respawned. Magneto's going to get rezzed. By the time Magneto gets rezzed, I believe Strange or Wanda's going to fight. Down goes Strange. Magneto's back. Black Cat's almost back. By the time Black Cat gets back, we're going to be down another person. Here goes Magneto. Black Cat's now back. And again, instead of just saying, this fight is over, right? Die, get out. Go to the next spot. What you want to do in this situation, Black Cat switch to Hela, just stand here. Stand here. Let your team die and stand here. Don't get any damage. If you start doing damage, they're going to come chase you down. Kill them here, right? Only regroup. So again, like, we can watch this whole point where they just make the same mistake over and over. Cut your losses, let that fight go, don't sacrifice your next fight, try to win an unwinnable fight. So, next up we have Clash. For Clash, the mistake that I commonly see here is not understanding its moving states. This kind of goes hand in hand with the first one, which is staggering. But here I want to add more to it. We're going to add a little bit more complexity. So we just talked about, for the gold mistake and staggering, we've only talked about being like one person, right? But that's not the only thing going on, right? So right here, if we look at who has advantage, green team has a very solid advantage, right? They have good control of the point. They have good control of the choke. They have Penny set up, everything's fine. Red team doesn't really have much advantage. As we watch this fight though, that's going to change. Red team is now choosing an alternative route, and they're going to close the distance, okay? Green team doesn't notice. And now they close the distance. They have no idea what's going on. Gambit's going to panic, and he's going to try to run, but he doesn't really realize that he's running away from safety with his team, straight towards the enemy team. Okay, he's going to back out, and he gets killed, right? So in the last example we had, we realized like, oh, green team is down, just die or get out, right? And you don't necessarily have to do this if one person dies, but that's the most common example. So the mistake here is actually going to be on red team. Red team doesn't realize that they have a huge advantage. A huge advantage. Gambit's dead, and they now have a positional advantage. So what red team is about to do is they're going to not realize they have an advantage, and they're going to waste a support ult and a DPS ult. Green team is going to properly realize they're at a disadvantage, and they're going to pull back. They're going to say they're using support ults, we're down to support, just back up, wait it out. And so that's exactly what happens. Dino is a great ult for waiting things out, keep himself alive, he's going to stay on point. You're going to see in a second. Now the cloak ult is over. Now green team is going to attack. Cloak ult's over. We can attack, we can force out the enemy cloak ult here, maybe even get a pick. Now here comes the Gambit ult, and guess what? Gambit's almost back. We've almost secured this whole point. Now Penny's ulting.
Never seen. Became the most celebrated underdog of the league.
Summer is here, and you've got places to go. She's headed to a golf tournament.
This one's headed to the beach.
He's going
Today, can't get a fight signed and has no titles to his name.
Everybody's asking, when am I fighting? When am I going to fight? Why don't I fight Wilder? Nobody wants to fight. I'm staying ready, baby.
This is the story of how Andy Ruiz ruined his life. Not to understand how far he fell, you need to see just how high he climbed. Andy Ruiz Jr. was born in the border town of Imperial, California on September 11, 1989, with a passion for baseball. He dreamed of becoming a baseball star. However, his father, a former boxer turned construction worker, saw something in his son that the rest of the world did. Ruiz was not a prime athlete. He was a chubby kid and did not have the physique to become a baseball star, but he had a destructive nature, which meant he would often break things. Ruiz earned himself the nickname Destroyer. Andy Sr. decided to channel that energy into boxing. He took him to a local gym at the age of 7 and got him to fight bigger things. Andy Sr. didn't just push his son toward boxing. He continued the family's training life across the border to the gyms of Mexicali, Mexico, where the sport is a religion. There, in his grandfather's gym, same one used by featherweight champion Jorge Pines, Ruiz developed something the boxing world would take years to recognize. How quickly brilliant fighting inside a body nobody took seriously. By the time he turned professional in 19, after narrowly missing the cut for the 2008 Mexican Olympic team, Ruiz had compiled a 105-5 amateur record. That is not the resume of a man who found boxing by accident. That is the record of a man who was built for it. But the boxing world had a stereotype of him. It had already decided what a heavyweight champion was supposed to look like. Then, the champion had to be tall, chiseled, and imposing. Andy Ruiz Jr. was none of those things. That had his work cut out for him. A full decade as a professional, Ruiz operated as the heavyweight division's best-kept secret. He kept winning. He stopped and outthought fighters. He built a 32-1 record. His only professional loss, razor-thin majority decision to Joseph Parker in 2016. The fight many ringside observers believed he had won. In spite of that, the sport simply was not ready to make him the face of anything. Then, in 2019, Kieran Sample turned the boxing world on its side. Uriel Miller, the brash heavyweight who had been scheduled to face unified champion Anthony Joshua in Madison Square Garden June 1st, 2019, failed multiple pre-fight drug tests. Miller was fortunately caught. Naturally, already had a sold-out arena, massive live gate, no opponent. So they called Andy Ruiz Jr. with just 6 weeks' notice.
How was ready and loose? Those didn't they happen at a perfect time?
Paper. It's been one of the easiest fights in Anthony Joshua's career. Ruiz was 6 feet 2 inches with a reach of 74 inches. Joshua was 6 feet 6 inches with a reach of 82 inches. With Joshua's pedigree in the sport, one was asking it for reasonably. The debate was about how long it would last in the ring before Joshua punched his lights out. When the fight started, the middle ground seemed to confirm the prediction of the majority. In the third round, Joshua landed a clean right hand that knocked Ruiz to the canvas. What happened next was Hollywood.
It was my first time getting dropped, and you know what? I don't feel I was super hurt, you know, because when I got dropped, he hit me with a good right hand, and I took it like a champ.
He's got back on his feet, got angry, and then in the same round, launched Joshua into a sharp left hook that sent the champion crashing to the canvas for the first time in his professional career. 45 seconds. The fight started going in a way no one could have predicted. In that moment, Ruiz was relentless. He dropped Joshua again in the third round, kept going until the seventh. He left Joshua on the ropes and unable to defend himself. The referee waved down.
4, 3, 2, 1. Help get that vehicle to its destination.
That night, Madison Square Garden witnessed one of the greatest upsets in the history of professional sports. That historic winning, Andy Ruiz Jr., first heavyweight champion of Mexican City, walking away with 3 major wins. 5-3 paycheck, roughly $7 million. It was in every sports league, every pro page, every social media. The belts, no longer secret. Somewhere behind the house. Clock first ruined and started the night of June 1st, 2019. The greatest night of Andy Ruiz Jr.'s life was also, in every way that actually mattered, the beginning of his end. Andy had chased this since he was a kid, dreamed about the heavyweight title since he was born. The moment he stood in the center of Madison Square Garden, heavyweight championship belts above his head, the chase was over. As champion, he'd see nothing left to prove. This formed the rock at the center of everything that followed. Afterwards, Ruiz experienced something commissioners call sudden love syndrome. It's the documented pattern that is noticed when a person acquires life-giving ability far faster than their psychological framework and processing. It comes with identity confusion, isolation, paranoia, and erratic decision. The championship burst deposited into his accounts. First thing Ruiz did to rewrite and skip ahead of state of life. Brought his mother a car, which was a very good gesture since he messed up a lot of her cars as a kid. Next, he left behind the discipline and glamorous rhythms of boxing, relocated to a sprawling 47-acre estate in California. It was a luxury mansion with a private tennis court and swimming pool. Andy Ruiz Jr. was finally living the life he dreamed.
Yeah, this is the so many things that I just got.
The cars came next. Entire fleet of them. He bought a Rolls Royce. He also bought a Lamborghini Urus. He followed that with 2 Mercedes G-Wagons. Ruiz also extended the car buying spree to his family. Aside from his parents, he got his sister a brand new Chevrolet Tahoe 271. He was distributing proof that the kid from Imperial had made it. Every person doubted him, every promoter overlooked him, and every commentator of the mocked his physique was wrong. This is what anyone in Ruiz's shoes would have done. Champions celebrate harder and usually have no worries spending money they have shed sweat and blood for. This is a story as old as the sport itself. What was happening behind these expensive buys and generous gestures? Something very dangerous.
Amazon hourly employees earn an average of over $20 a month. Because sometimes a little extra goes a long way. Amazon skill training of apprenticeships and hourly employees into higher paying roles.
Not helpful. Try the Allen wrench. I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. If you've been hurt, my firm's got a home field command.
Mike's team scored me $1.25 million for my head and leg injuries.
We don't stand on the sidelines and let you get taken advantage of. If you've been hurt, call me. I've got this.
For Andy Ruiz Jr., spending wasn't a problem. It was a symptom of his identity crisis. Before June 1st, 2019, Ruiz was a man with something to fight for. He was a fighter nobody believed. Always grinding in gyms, working as hard as he could while the opponents he would one day dismantle were being celebrated on billboards. Because he was underestimated, underpaid, and overlooked. Ruiz had a hunger that fueled his ambition to be the best. But after his decisive win over Joshua, that hunger disappeared. He relaxed. Ruiz didn't train as hard anymore. It's the reason why he had to get up and train changed. Before, failing to train meant that he was choosing to save poor. Now that he was rich, the stakes were different. The standards started to slip. Training camp became optional. Games turned into weeks of inconsistency. Grueling, monk-like isolation that championship preparation demands, dietary protocols, the early nights, the obsessive film study, the hours of sparring began reducing, replaced by media tours, lavish dinners, and a social calendar befitting a newly crowned world champion. Gym, which used to be the one place on earth where the world finally made sense to Andy Ruiz Jr., became a chore. Ruiz lost the structure and discipline that made him the most successful underdog in world boxing. Into the vacuum left by that collapsed structure, something else moved in, the entourage.
Andy, we're doing.
In professional boxing, the fighter is the sole employer of every single person around him. That dynamic is manageable when the fighter has nothing. Money is thin, the team is small, hierarchy is clear. The coach's voice carries weight because everyone needs the next fight to happen. But when a fighter becomes a millionaire overnight, the entire power structure of the camp changes. Suddenly, people around him are no longer there to push him. They're there to protect their access. Protecting access to the boxing ring. He's telling the champion exactly what he wants to do. Yes, flooded in. Not because Ruiz was naive. Because that level of success always attracts them. Hank who laughed when Ruiz was a long shot suddenly had opinions about training schedules. New faces, new ideas, filled the spaces where silence and discipline used to live. The honest voices, ones that say the truth even if it's false or unpopular, started getting drowned out. One of those voices is his trainer Manny Robles. Robles was the force behind Ruiz's epic 2019 win. He had spent years understanding Andy Ruiz's mind, his instincts, a specific brand of inside pressure fighting, and how to employ all of it against a specific opponent. He knew, better than anyone, exactly what Ruiz needed to do to stay a champion. He watched, helplessly. None of it happened.
You know, my situation with my fighters is like I'm trying to bring out the best in them, I'm trying to give them the resource something, I'm trying to give them the work hard. It doesn't always work that way.
As Ruiz's standards fell, Robles wasn't just watching his fighters get training. He was watching them slowly lose himself. The sharpness that once defined Andy Ruiz Jr., same edge that shocked the world, began to fade. It was weighed down by a lifestyle that didn't match the discipline needed to stay at the top. But Ruiz's struggles weren't just about his attitude toward training. There were also serious issues within his team, an organizational breakdown that played a major role in his downfall. When the rematch negotiations began, Ruiz held a position of historic leverage. He was the unified heavyweight champion of the world, holding 3 of the 4 major recognized belts, the man who had been the sport's biggest star in American soil. For a brief shining moment, he was the most powerful man in heavyweight boxing. His team used that leverage to make public statements demanding the rematch happen in New York, Mexico, and air terms. They even demanded 40 million pounds. He spent so much time making statements, failing to read the contract that they signed. Matchroom Boxing, as Eddie Hearn, secured an ironclad rematch clause from the very beginning, granting him unilateral control over the venue and the financial terms of the sequel. Ruiz's public demands were not negotiation positions. Hearn walked straight past all of it, sold the site rights to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for a reported $50 million, and positioned the rematch as a centerpiece of a state-sponsored sporting extravaganza in the Uri Arena. There was nothing Ruiz's team could do to stop it. With the contract enforced, their leverage evaporated. Ruiz was not going to get a percentage of the site fee. Even though the rematch was generating a reported $98 million, all Ruiz would be getting was a $13 million flat fee for showing up. Meanwhile, Anthony Joshua would be getting $85 million. $13 million is life-changing money, but relative to what the fight was worth, and the defending champion's rightful position on the card, it was humiliation. On December 6, 2019, the weigh-in revealed just how far Andy Ruiz Jr. had fallen. He stepped on the scales, registered 283.7 pounds. He was 16 pounds heavier than the first fight, nearly 40 pounds above his optimal fighting weight. Anthony Joshua weighed in at 237 pounds.
3, 2, 1.
I'm counting on you, friend.
You need to stop that beat from
This is gonna hurt.
So guys, if you figure it's all in, it's on the coffee, it's a damn good Spotify, and I decided I used to think uploading music on different platforms was a huge complicated process, but actually it's a really simple process. It's just really makes it easy to get your music out on Spotify. All you gotta do is go and upload your track, have the release date, and then it gets uploaded, distributed, and that's what I love. It frees me up to focus on the creative side of things, like writing, recording, shooting videos, and rehearsing for my show. Today, the power of being an artist hands. If you want to be an artist, share your story, bring your talent with the world. It's not. It's easier now than ever with different
Time for some fireworks.
It was 10 pounds lighter than the first impression. It was obvious that he had been rebuilt from the ground up. He looked like a man who had spent the last 6 months cleaning every single point like a second chance at surviving. Joshua had found the hunger. Louise had lost it. The single match was billed as a clash of wits, but it was a one-sided fight. For 12 rounds, Joshua moved, jabbed, held, and served. Louise, who's carrying a physiological equivalent to the backpack loaded to failure, didn't close the distance once. Hopefully Joshua had his revenge. In one night, Andy Ruiz Jr. was back to being a noble. In the press conference after the loss, Ruiz said,
I would have won this fight, and like I said, I should have trained harder, I should have listened to my coaches more. Maybe I shouldn't have put on all this weight that I did, and I would have been more faster, and I would have thrown more.
He said all the right words. Then he did the exact opposite when they fought. Made an apology for his favorite supporters.
My supporters, all my fans, all my loved ones, I'm sorry I let you guys down. I know we get this victory, but still don't these fans, man. I know I should have trained harder, and I should have taken more serious, but he won, no excuses. So that's the reason I'm going to come back stronger.
Instead of getting rid of the enabling environment that had destroyed his kingdom, so he just looked for someone to rebuild the building. 6 weeks after the loss, Andy Robles was fired. Ruiz couldn't even do it face-to-face, except his father is here.
I never got a phone call from Andy Ruiz to begin with. He never talked to me. It was the father that approached me, the father that called me and he was in to talk to me about the separation.
Here's what Robles had to say about the split.
Gotta understand, man, he's a ghetto boy. The ghetto kid that never had anything in life. You know, and all of a sudden you wake up and you're a champion of the world and you got millions of dollars in the bank and being ready to make more money and more millions at that. I mean, it's just overwhelming. I can see the situation became so overwhelming for him. He made a lot of new friends and, you know, that weren't around when you know, he had nothing. And unfortunately, you know, people change with money, you know.
Andy Robles has built a system to help Andy Ruiz Jr. shock the world. He was the only honest voice in the room, calling Ruiz to order when he noticed him slacking. But yet he was somehow the scapegoat. What remained for Ruiz was his house, cars, and a story of how he was once the most famous boxer on the planet. After his loss to Joshua in the rematch, he sold himself to a mean mistake. He had paid the price.
I got him hurt a few times and I let him survive. So I think that was one of the mistakes that I did. But like I said, I won one, he won one. Let's do the next one.
Talent was still there. His fight instincts that got him to win on June 1st were still there. All he needed was a reset. Right team, preparation, Andy Ruiz Jr. would be back. He was ready for a part 3 with Anthony Joshua. He wanted to prove that he could be defined by that loss. He could win it.
I learned from my mistakes. I know what I didn't do, what I should have did for camp and
gold3toys.com.
For free.
How much longer is this gonna take? Yeah, he's been up there so long, T.I. went in and out of jail twice. Your father has a surprise, and obviously it's a big deal to him. So whether you're surprised or not, that's honest. Why do we have to lie? I don't care what to us to do with the truth like candy. Just do it. Is that our new family slogan?
Yeah, baby.
Yes, baby!
Bam! This is Nick Kingston Persons coming to you live from the top of the stairs, where just seconds ago I revealed my brand new look for my brand new job.
Microphone salesman?
I'm looking at the newest film reporter for KAWT Sports Square Bit.
Oh my god, you got the job! When that guy told you could be on TV, I thought he was just lying to make you feel good. You think you can introduce me to Serena Williams? Get back in here!
I'm just grabbing a glass of water. I'm pouring the water now. Oh, I'm pouring, still pouring. Oh, man, baby, a ladybug's pulling my glass. I'm going to have to pour another glass.
Which hero do you think you're gonna be today?
Okay, right behind you.
I'm here to finish the fight that my father began.
The higher the pressure,
I'm,
the more dazzling
Trying
the
to catch a few
diamond.
minutes of the cuddling channel, you know. Get a few chills.
You lucky you're cute.
Now, who am I gonna banish from this match?
That I am lying.
I'm trying to find the Ramirez fight, don't you, okay?
No, I'm a teacher. I read. And I can afford it.
What the hell is that?
That's just my neighbors in 2L. Okay, every Friday night they party like it's 1999, and apparently have been since 1988. I'm just gonna complain to the manager for the end.
Wait, don't just forget about that, alright? Why don't you just go to my place, watch two men beat the hell out of each other, and peace and quiet.
Come on, we always go to your place. I'm trying to know how to pack up our bath products and hair products. Then I don't know clothes to bring or shoes to wear. I got to plan ahead, but
Alright. I have an idea. Why don't you move in? Yeah.
Oh, wow, baby, I'm so excited. We're going to be living together for the rest of our lives. Hey, wait a minute. Are you doing this as a genuine expression of love or just because you want to watch the fight?
Yes.
The right heroes can make all the difference.
Seasons change, but we'll still be
You want to see daddy? Daddy girl.
I need
You
your
gonna be
help.
out in the backyard with your houses.
Yes, I feel like I should just order tables.
We'll be coming in 3 seconds. Stay strong.
I know someone can get you a big box, but you need to
Ceremonial garb
Oh,
is truly stunning.
Robert asked you to move in, and I said yes. Do you think I'm doing the right thing? If it's after the rain, then it's the right thing. I believe it said that in the Bible.
Gala always has plenty of
The
chances
rhyming
to
Bible. But there's a kid involved, and I haven't lived with anybody before, except my parents, and it's taken me 15 years to get over that. How many nights did you spend at Robert's house? 4. My parents were married, and my dad was home 3 nights. He was a long-haul trucker who had a shadow family in Newark. My point is that you practically live in any way to just make it official. You don't think it's just no. You're in love, you're getting married. My lease is coming up. What does your lease have to do with any of this? Mom's been flights and stuff like your apartment after these back days. We're talking about me. We're talking about you. And Robert is a great guy, and she is moving with him. Probably about the first of the month. Fast. I was wrong. And, you know, it's something like that. What's the story? Come on, let's eat out, right? Baby, you so good up already.
Easy.
Hey.
What's up, big fella? Oh, I just came by to tell you guys big news.
Ooh, was this a Mr. LA exclusive?
Well, as a matter of fact, it is. All right. Just want to come by here, show you about this person that Tia and I are looking at. Daddy's house. So it'd be like a sleepover, except she's going to sleep over every night. So, you see, cool?
Am I cool?
Yeah.
Oh, how did the trip, Rob? I mean, you guys are grown, so you can do as you please. I know what I do.
Really? But thanks for being so understanding, DC. I thought you was going to go buck wild and start tearing. Hit Betty with joy. I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, well, I know. So, ready?
Great.
Great.
Okay, great. Explain to me what I'm doing up on a Saturday to carry a box full of shower caps and batteries. Because you're my friend? No, that ain't it. And Tia promised to cook you dinner. She said cook? I thought she said order. That is absolutely no reason.
Only 60 seconds left.
Auntie, you sure you want this? I mean, it doesn't really go with the decor. Plus, Robert already has the table. Last night and tried to nail. Stop trying to bogart my furniture.
All I'm saying is, I don't know why you asked the woman you already asked to marry who's been now. Because if it was me, I would have done it months ago.
I'm tired. I'm a little break. Oh, this is so uncomfortable, girl. Get it, Janelle.
What do you have a set of tools? Those are not tools, that's Tia's makeup case. Man, you sure you want to wake up every morning next to somebody who needs more makeup than Edward James almost? You forget what they say to get kids in school. Why are you tripping, man? What is you get kids in here? Was it yesterday I'm talking easy stuff out? No, a year and a half ago, and you didn't help. You just pointed and drank. It just seemed like you were. It's like this, bro. You got heaven, you got hell, you got purgatory. So thank you, Reverend Dirk. Living alone is heaven. Being married is hell. No. Living alone is lonely. This conversation is hell. All I'm saying is it's so dumb on heaven when you go over $5 a year. That's premature permutation.
What do you want me to put my door in your first?
That's in your dorm room. What's up, Nisi? What's up, Shacklin? Bobby, what you thinking of the play?
Except for picture with my teeth. Oh, is that my real name? I'm gonna pick you up in the morning, okay? Well, hey, Bobby.
So, anybody up for Twister? Alright, that's a good idea. You know, get your jammies on first. You know, flexible clothing allow you to get your stretch on.
Baby, I don't think he's coming back down.
Of course he is. He loves Twister.
It's not about Twister. I think he's got an issue with the kid.
No, when I told him you were there, he was just excited about what? See, here he is now. What's that?
I knew there was two things. Okay, I'll just go with my thing. I mean,
Are you sure?
By the eye of Agamotto!
Down to 30 seconds.
hey, now your education. For the bitch you wanted, I would have done it anyway. So, I was just wondering if I could spend the night. What did that man do to you? Oh, it's not Robert, it's Bobby. What did that boy do to you?
So you do realize under California law, some people just take my dick as a regular disease?
The only thing stronger than your skin is your mind.
Last night, 24 robbers at my door. I got a better bit. Ready or not, even talk about it. Come on, Bob, you supposed to hide. Don't you want to play? Is everything okay? Because you know you can tell me anything, right? Okay, share body language. That's cool, that's cool. Now, tell me why you threw tears closed downstairs. Are you upset with me? Spell it twice instead. Are you answering me or are you just shrugging? Okay, okay. Alright. Are you upset with me? Why don't you go in the kitchen and grab the... Oh, you ain't shrugging now, right? Hey, man, what's up there? Oh, smelling food cooking. That's a good thing. Hold out. Oh, then I forgot, man. I've been dealing with Bobby. He's depressed. Bobby Deuce, my man. Everything cool? Yeah. Wow, he is depressed. I'm playing it opposite. Oh, so now you talking? He's upset that he's out there with me. Oh, gotcha. It's like a job for Uncle Dirk. No problem. Hey, you going there? 4 million files. Bring me an aromatic beef, crispy whole fish, and a sucking 5 loaf of shrimp. It's $4.
I love Bobby. I really, really do, but I would never think to pay for this money. I'm sure his mother and his mother, right? I mean, I don't know about his mother. And that's his mother. Don't get me started. How much I love Bobby. Yeah, have you noticed what's going on? So isn't it amazing to put in love I'm feeling from my neighbors? You don't give my neighbors down, and they're leaving because of you. They are taking bird in our apartment that actually needs to be walked. So let me go. Please, I told you what was
coming. There's the sponge that lives under the sea.
Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
Well,
it's right there.
You need a top-notch team to win this one.
Gary's feeling left out?
No, because he's a snail.
Uncle Dirk's gonna have to T-bow SpongeBob before next time.
Squidward is the same thing.
The hand of heaven is here.
What the heck is going on in the water that's making these fish so freaking sad?
They're sad because they saw their mom cry.
Shark got him?
She didn't understand what they're doing.
She is not a fish?
Other magical adepts.
Oh. You saw your mommy crying. You got a lot going on there, huh?
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
I'm as flawless as
Oh,
they come, darling.
Okay, let's go. Alright. Hey, watch the scallops. Alright, let's keep it.
Sleep tight, but
Good night, Dream Travel.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3,
what's going on, Bobby?
I had to talk to him. Well, I had to talk to him first. Who had to talk about it. Who apparently talks to SpongeBob. And it just seems that this whole movie situation is tough on Squid. What is this about?
You know what you're trying to say.
That God, the sensitive genius that we created, is upset about something that he's seen or he heard, like mine.
What's Bobby crying for?
Bobby was right.
You got to look at it. Oh, listen. See, it's that mouth. I told you. Be a helper, not a hater.
See, Tia wasn't crying. You're right. Bobby saw it.
Robert, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't cried since the first time I saw the color purple. And that was back in '93.
I'm just saying, Bobby saw something better. If you want to talk about it, I'm here.
Robert, you couldn't see me cry. But I did. In the station.
There must have been something that I just saw that made him so upset that he threw Tia's clothes downstairs.
Yeah, must have been.
Hey, baby, you okay?
Baby, the last 24 hours have been hell. Now turn my place to a teach called Wild Bitch out.
It's okay. You're home where you belong now. Daddy gonna take care of you.
So is Bobby doing any better?
Oh, that's gonna take a minute to iron out. You up for it?
Hey, you know we ride or die. That's what the kids say.
Yeah, you got still like DMX.
Hey, we ride or die, son.
Yeah, just not like that. Don't fall asleep. Hey, Lucy, what you doing here?
I'm here to play Twister.
What?
It's Bobby's favorite game. And if you and the thing here are going to play house, then you better learn how to play Twister. You two are the opposite. Oh no, I'm just so wild. I'm so tired. You know, speaking of tired, you might want to take those shoes off so you don't break up my mat. And hold on, you're like, I ain't got all day. You know, I got a better idea. How about you and Tia them things? Okay. Okay. Back to your phone. Come on.
He really said nothing but a thing. Now, I don't know if all y'all know this, but I was the last cut on the Circus Du Soul train.
Let's talk and more twisting. Bring it. All right. Left foot on yuck. What? Left hand on blue. Okay, Tia, your turn. Right hand on green. And right foot yuck. A little bit twister.
Bring up.
That's what I'm saying. And right hand on blue.
Hey, everything is fair and twisted. Since you said so, all right, you said your turn.